Welcome to my YouTube. I've been doing this production series where I just break down beats of mine called Bono's Beats on my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. I got some feedback from a lot of homies that wanted me to dig a little deeper into some of my production. So I decided to make a long form version of what I've been doing on the other social media pages, which brings us here. This is a track called Kabza. I flipped the Kabza and DJ Maforisa, shouts out to the Scorpion Kings record. It's an Amapiano joint, and I decided to make it a boom bap record. I just wanted, flip the tables on, like, you see a lot of Amapiano edits. I'm like, you know what? I'll flip the piano record and like see what we come up with. So this is the original. Let's see if I can turn this down a little bit. So yeah, just a little backstory. I did want to flip that, just kind of give it a boom bap feel. So what we're gonna do is break this down track by track. But let it play. Woo. All right. So now you got a feel of it. Let's start with a breakdown. So I'm gonna need to solo these two real quick. So here's the chop. So what I did was this is the part I really wanted to work with, and on its own, that could be a cool loop, which I actually do use later in the song. That's the blue part. But I really liked this vocal part here in the song. So what I did was have this part and then chopped in the vocal right here, because it's same chord progression. So I just looped that, and that was pretty much my chop for this first part of the sample. So going back to it, we could kind of play that out and you get that. Now to go a little deeper with it, I EQ'd, doing the EQ to turn down the bass, because I have a bass line that I replayed down here. Boom. Did that in Serum. So that kind of created some space for the bass line. However, I also added a sidechain. There's a ghost kick here, like ghost kick pattern. Boom, right here, 11. So I needed to create a little bit of space with sidechaining, so that I will have space for the kicks to kind of do the thing. And so that brings us to the drum programming part. So I could just do this here, also on my drum rack, so that's the kick snare pattern right now, which, to be very honest with you, that's a loop that I really like, and I just would like more control of it, and I'll just chop it up. So I just chopped up the kicks, kind of gave it my own pattern or feel to it, but then I also layered it with another drum loop. But the thing you need to do when you do layer these drums are panning. So I tossed some of these to the left, as you can see here, and this one to the right. The reason I wanted to layer this other part was because the kick, it had the heavy bottom kick, and if you listen to this one by itself, it's not as heavy. But when you add this one to it, kind of gives it that bottom, you feel me? Like, it just gives it some ass. So that's why I added that other layer to it, and also some percussion elements of this other drum loop just added some, like, a little oomph to it. So for my pattern, I just been listening to Running. I don't know, I was down this like Far Side rabbit hole this past couple weeks. So I've been listening to Running, and cool thing about that record is Dilla doesn't repeat the kicks for like 20 bars, I believe. Something crazy. So I was like, yo, let me try to, like, push myself to see if I could not do 20 bars, but at least go for 8, 16 bars without repeating it. I did 8, but we ended up here. So if you listen to my kick pattern, I just chop them up so they don't repeat. For was it 4 bars? Might be 4 bars. I don't know. I can't count bars for. So for that whole pattern, did not repeat. Now it repeats again. But yeah, that was kind of like my inspiration with this drum pattern was listening to running, just making sure they don't repeat. And then back up here. So back to why I added the glue compressor sidechain. So I learned that you could do the sidechain easier with the glue compressor. That's why I use it. I think there's another instrument you could use to do sidechain, but the glue compressor just works best for me, and I could kind of use it as regular compressor late as well on top of the sidechain element to it. So without the kicks or without the glue compressor, let's see how that sounds. Right, I'll turn this off. Like it's still cool, but like this just gives the kick a little bit more space. Like it's very subtle, but like it goes a long way once you start adding like all these other elements to it. Like you're adding now the bass line. You just want to like create as much space as you can. So that was pretty much my reasoning for adding the glue compressor onto the track. So when I do transitions, I really love bringing in like a drum fill, like this one. And when my drum fill hits, I'll either do a drum fill or a riser. I think I did both on this one. So there's a riser down here. Boom, boom. So the drum fill and the riser just they just build tension, and then you get the release with the crash. It's just a good way to just add some character to your transitions from bar to bar. Like if you're bringing in another element, like later on I'll bring in some more hi-hats, so like it's a cool way to transition into this other part of the song, which I'll get to in a little bit. Also I did layer some Rhodes, so we can kind of silence all these real quick. And doom, 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 boom. Yeah. So you can hear that same chord progression in the sample. Sorry, let me just turn this off. It's kind of distracting. So you can hear that chord progression with the Rhodes. So that's in the sample, but like I just felt like it wasn't thick enough. Like I don't know. I just wanted more layers to it. So I replayed it. And I just felt like that just adds a little bit more layer to it. And just it gives the track a little bit more fullness. And so with the bass line, it just brings it all together. And now we could just bring the whole shebang. I think I muted something here. I shouldn't have. I think we're good. All right, let's go. That's everything together right now. Yeah. Right. So for the second part now, pretty much everything stayed except this sample part, right? I told you I just left that other part of the sample where it just kind of replayed. So there was a reason I chopped it. I can't remember why. Yeah, I can't remember why I did it, but I don't think it's important. It's whatever. But I pretty much played that earlier part here where it was just the sample on its own without this. Let's go here. So I just kind of let this thing play out on its own. Yeah, so I didn't for this second part. I didn't want to add the vocals to it, so I just like took that part off, and all you pretty much hear is just this. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, kept everything else the same, like the drum patterns. I explained that earlier. The Rhodes, the bass line. Now the new element I added to this one is I'm gonna play it right now real quick, just so you can kind of get the feel of it. So I'm gonna start here so you get the feel of the old joint and then go into the new to cut out the difference. All right, so for this part, there's two distinctive differences, right? There's like a keyboard, like a piano addition to it, and the hi-hat. So I chopped up this hi-hat loop. The original one's this one right here. But it felt too I don't know, too robotic. Like it just they didn't have like any feel to it. So what I did was whenever you do is this something in Ableton where you can chop up something, put it all together, but then you hit Command J and it'll put them all as one track. So that's what I did, and like I brought that over here. But I still just keep this up here, just because you just never know. You could need to redo the chop. So I just kept it. But the part that I did merge together, I brought it in here. But because I wanted to add like a groove to it, that's why I just put it all as one track and added this groove to it to kind of give it some swing. So now I'm able to like adjust the swing on it, because you can adjust the swing up here. At least I don't know how to, so I just made it all as one thing, and you could tell the difference. There's a little bit, yeah, it's a little bit more of a swing to it. With the piano, now this part was fun as hell. This was a sample I found on Splice. And it sounded real cool on its own, like, but I just wanted like I wanted the tail of it to be a little bit more exciting. So I did this auto filter effect where it kind of does like a wobble. And I pan them. So I put one on the left and put one on the right, just so they're not like taking up the same space. So to do that effect, just copy over this sample, but I go over here and in auto filter, you can, so I add auto filter to this one. So without it, this is what it sounds like. It just sounds the same. Now with the filter effect, and all that is like a LFO effect. So you do that here. You set up the LFO. You change your rate. The rate I do really enjoy is like the 1/16. You could do 1/8. You could do, which is cool too. You could do 1/6. But I like the one. That sounds pretty cool actually. But the 1/16 just sounded. It's kind of what I wanted. It was the vibe I was going for. And you can adjust this part to highlight whatever part of the frequency you want to work with. But I left it there, like that's kind of where I wanted it to affect the sample, and you can adjust this as well. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that kind of added like a cool little tail to it, so it didn't just sound like just a regular piano on its own, which wasn't bad at all, but I just thought this just added more oomph to it. So now all together you hear there's also this little space chirp sound. I just added that in just to kind of filling some space. Like it just, I don't know, it just felt right. It just felt right in that space of this record. Let's see. Let's play all these. And also, it's got like that little. It's got the same elements as like the wobbly part of the piano. So I just thought, it just kind of all brought it all together. Well, that's pretty much this section of it. Now for the next section, what I did was take away the piano. That was pretty much the bigger part of this last part. Oh wait, there's a little cool effect I did with this. Okay, with the drum. So this effect right here, I'm gonna show you how I did that. Boom, right here. So it gives you that, like, you're stopping the record slow down thing. To do that, you come here, click down here, switch over to the envelope. You want to go to your clip and transposition. Boom, right there. So yeah, you could adjust it up here. It's set at 0, so I wanted it to like slow down up to this part. So I just hit another, double clicked here to create another portion of it, and just did the automation down to -15, and we get this effect. Yeah, so that's how I did that. Cool little tidbit to do. So again, yeah, that transitions over to this last part of the track, and there's no piano. I just thought that could be a cool way to close out the track, and which brings us to this last part. I did the transposition thing again, and that was it. And yeah, that's pretty much the breakdown for this record. I really hope that helped anyone that's going down this Ableton journey. I learn new things every day on Ableton, man. It's an amazing tool. There's just so much that this machine can do, and yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments, shoot me a message, what have you. I'm here to help any way I can. And if you got any tidbits yourself, throw them my way. I'm always willing to learn. But yeah, that's my little tidbit on my Copza record. Hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. If you didn't, come on the next episode. Maybe you learned something there. But that's all for today. Hope you have a good one. Peace.